Throughout our narrative, we had Alice May Pearson singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. We wanted a child to sing this song, but it was very difficult to record, so we compromised. There is a contrast with this, as it is confusing because there should be a happy, innocent song, but it also has an eerie, creepy effect, especially over the beginning and in the car, as it does not match the shots.
We had to make our beginning more obvious that this film was about kidnap. Therefore, we went to our local radio station and asked the presenter, Darren Wilson, to record a fake news bulletin about a kidnap. As this proves to be effective, using a professional, it seems more real.
We played this as a non-diegetic sound and as a voiceover of the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. We think this works well as it is clear and loud and helped our enigma, as once we had our feedback, this was what got picked up on the most. It also works with Dave's facial expression because as it says disappear, it cuts to him looking sad and tearful. I'm worried. This marks the beginning of the flashbacks. At the very beginning, we start with silence, as this keeps the audience in suspense, waiting for the film to start. There is then a loud introduction as a little girl giggles, bringing the audience to focus at that point. The giggling, we believe, is effective as it is subversive and shows the mystery already. Why is this sound being played on a shot of a grown-up girl?
By putting this girl at the beginning is odd, however, it reflects and reminds the audience later when it goes back to this girl so that they know there is a connection there.
As it got closer to the end, we began layering several Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars on top of each other so that it got louder and louder and gave a more stressed effect. Everything was sped up to create tension, which shows it's all coming together for the final scene.
We really like the heart pumping with the flatline as it helps to create a dramatic ending, especially working with the candle being blown out into darkness, as this is when the music stops. We were going to put in a sound effect of a crash, however, we could not find any realistic sounds. But we think that the heart beating and the flatline shows clearly what has happened. However, the shots of the car crash themselves do not look very realistic because we have to speed the shots up.
On the other hand, we put a lot of thought into the other areas of realism by using actors that represented the characters well.
For example, Dave. Young the Jim has a tattoo which shows he is young and trying to show off. In other shots, Dave is wearing more layers of clothing which shows insecurity but also shows that he's trying to cover his tattoo. Flashbacks show him when he was younger and wearing white tops, darker hair and less wrinkles. These show that this is a shot from a different period of time. He's also smiling in these shots which shows a happier time in his life. Dave plays a middle-aged man. This is shown through the grey hair, layers of clothing which show that he's also not fashionable. He looks scruffy too. This was represented through him not being shaven and by wearing dark clothing. The character Jim drives a nice sports car which shows that he spends money on himself. This can make the listener think about why he doesn't spend money on anyone else. Is this because he doesn't have anyone? The cigarette in the car shows that he is a smoker, which is a bad habit, and that he leads a very stressful life.
Also, when Elle is on the swing, it's subversive as it's an older girl on the swing. This is usually a role for younger children, which suggests she's lonely and perhaps deprived of a childhood, as typically a girl of that age would be out with her friends. It looks as though she is in deep thought and in a daydream, which makes the audience question her emotions. Is she sad? Is she angry? Is she lonely? Our dialogue was also effective. However, when we pieced together the final product, we had problems piecing the conversation on the phone as the script was not very clear.
So if we were to do this again, then we make a clear script.
Also, when Simi is playing the woman with her mum says, "I'm going to get you," which matches the narrative because he missed his daughter, so he kidnapped another.
Whilst editing, we used a range of transitions. As we faded into Dave, we used black as this predicts danger and dark times. Whilst we were fading into a flashback, we used white as this shows his thoughts of happy times.